welcome to episode 2 of our Foundation Strength series. It's not as sunny as last week for some reason, which is a bit disappointing. Today we're going to cover the lunge. If you haven't watched episode 1 on the squat, and stop this video now, go back and just do yourself a favour and watch that video first, because a lot of the coaching points and key components that we covered in that video are relatable to this, obviously because we're still lower body, so a lot of the coaching points are exactly the same. So if you haven't seen it, stop the video, go back and watch it. For those that have seen it, let's just carry on. So the lunge then, we're not going to have a whiteboard today because like I said, a lot of the points we've already covered, okay? The lunge. We're going to cover the standard way of doing it, we'll cover a walking lunge, and we'll also cover the backwards lunge, and then we'll touch on Bulgarian split squat as well, because all them principles are pretty much the same through every single one of them. Okay. Again, like the squat video, like I said, we always start when we're setting up for a lunge with our feet first. That's the first thing we should always think. Start from here, work your way up. So, like I said, if you remember on the squat video, when I said about feet position, I said about a base platform. Now, the same principle applies with this. If you're watching this now, I just want everyone to do me a favour and stand up, and then get yourself in a lunge position like you usually would, and I want you to stand nice and narrow like this, and then all I want you to do is try and lunge down to the floor as low as you can, and you'll notice straight away I start shaking around. Okay, so what you want to do on this is just make sure you get a nice wide stance to begin with and get a good base platform. So the wider your feet are, the easier it is to stay balanced. So if I was doing this and I was working my right leg, step forward with my right leg like so, nice wide stance, sorry about the beeps, and you're going to come down like so. Now this position, like the squat, you want to aim to get your knee tracking your foot, but your knee doesn't want to go past the toes. And on this you want to try and get as close to a vertical shin as possible. That's the desired position. Yeah? So always start nice and wide, so we'll just go for a quick time. I'm going to stand there, step forward with my right foot nice and wide, here, and I'm there. Trying to get my shin as vertical as possible. This rear knee, you don't want to rest it on the floor. As soon as you rest it on the floor, it takes the pressure off this leg, and we're no longer working this because we're resting. Yeah? This is a rest position. So, again, step forward. Same coaching points apply with a squat. As you come forward, you've got a vertical shin, and the further forward we go, it means we can put as much weight through this hill as we can, yeah? Hitting that glute again. This is what we want to hit, not the quad predominantly, this. Yeah, remember what I said, the quicker we can get these firing properly, doing all these movements, the quicker we're going to prevent lower back injuries, yeah? Get moving a lot better using that full posterior chain, yeah? So, again, we're going to jump out, step, here, and it's there. Notice, chest position, exactly the same on the squat. Chest is nice and high, the head's up nice and high. Remember what I said, chin up. If your chin's up, the chest usually follows, and then the back straight, yeah? To come out of this, remember, you want to just drive quite robustly off of this leg, so you want to drive yourself back. When you go into the next leg, step forward, yeah, if we're doing alternating lunges, drive back, yeah? Chest up, nice and high every time. Again, to keep yourself balanced, because I know some people struggle with a balance, find a point in front of you and focus on it. If you're doing lunges, and you're looking around everywhere like you're pissed up walking home with a kebab, you're going to start falling over. So when you step forward, if you're doing this, you'll notice I'm quite unbalanced. And then my chest isn't in the position that I want it to be, and then I may start moving from side to side. Yeah. So what you want to do is just make sure that you're focusing on something. So look at a point in the distance or on a wall or whatever, and then you step forward, you look at that, here, feet together, and then we just alternate, like so. Sweet, so remember that. So, key points to take away, feet position, chest position, nice wide stance, weight through the heels. 2 seconds, so I was let the dog out. Come on in. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so feet position, chest position, keep the back nice and straight, nice wide stance. So we've just done a front lunge then. All we're going to do now is just move on to the backwards lunge. It's exactly the same principles, except we're going to start here and then we're going to step backwards into it. Now, the reason you do this as a progression is because if we're doing a front lunge and we want to work this right leg predominantly, let's just say, for example, I want to work my right leg. If I'm doing this, I want to step forward and my left leg's taking all the weight at the moment. As I step, my right leg isn't under stress. My right leg isn't under stress. Now it's under stress as I'm coming down, yeah? So it's under stress at this point, but as soon as I drive off, my right leg isn't under stress anymore, okay? If we're doing a backwards lunge and I want to work my right leg, you'll notice that it's constantly under stress. So from this position, my feet are together, we're working the right leg. So the left foot comes off the floor, it's under stress, it's under stress, it's under stress, all the way down to the floor, it's still under stress, and it's still under stress. So through A, B to C, it's under pressure the entire time as opposed to be lifted off the floor and rested, yeah? So once you've mastered the front lunge, start incorporating the backwards lunge as well. Moving on to the split squat then, it's exactly the same, except we use this when we want to do continuous reps on one side. So a split squat, you get into the lunge position exactly the same as when we set up before. You'll step nice and wide, get a good base platform going, and then all we do from here is just bring our pelvis down to the floor, yeah? Keeping it as neutral as possible. So remember when we spoke in the squat video about the bucket of water on your pelvis and you don't want to spill it, yeah? It's exactly the same with this, so remember them principles. What you don't want to do when you're doing this split squat is this, American Psycho version, yeah? The American Psycho version, when he's looking in the mirror. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm on about. You want to get away from doing this. Yeah, this isn't what we want. What I want you to imagine is there's a couple of little men underneath your pelvis. They've got a pulley and they're turning it and they're pulling you down to the floor, really, really slow. Now, when they get to the bottom, they cut that rope and then you ping back up again. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to give you the finger there. You ping back up again. Yeah. So what you're going to do? Step nice and wide. Get into that good base position. Keep your chest up and your head up. Two little men underneath me, they're turning that pulley and I'm coming down. So, down to the floor, like this. And you notice I'm going straight down to the floor and then coming back up. Yeah? Again, look at something in the distance, keep your balance. Here, here. Yeah? Straight down to the floor. I'm not doing this. If we're doing that, our knee is going in front of our toes and that's a big no-no. We don't want that. Keep it on the glutes and the hammies, yeah? Glutes predominantly, that's what we want to work. And obviously with the left leg it'll look exactly the same. If you are going to do a split squat as well, there's another variation. I'll just grab a chair and show you. So, with a chair then, or a weights bench if you're doing this in the gym, yeah, just to make it a little bit harder, you can put your resting leg on something, yeah, to put more pressure on this leg to add a bit more resistance. So if I was doing this on my right, I'd start here, my toe goes up on the chair, get yourself balanced exactly the same, get a good base platform, and then again, down, and then up, yeah, fully extend at the top, keep yourself upright, again, yeah, down to the floor, and then up. Then obviously on the left leg, you put your right foot onto the chair. We'll go on to doing this with different weights then. Starting off with a barbell. So with this, again, a bit more important this time, you need to get this steady. Yeah, you need to get this in a balanced position. If it's too far this way and you're lunging, you are going to fall to the side, yeah? So just be careful, make sure you get it nice and relaxed position, nice and neutral so it's balanced. Again, same principles apply. You can have your thumbs over the top, thumbs underneath. Don't have it too wide, yeah? Try and get away from this shit. I know you see a lot of strongmen do it, but try and get away from this. Really, really focus on keeping flexibility through the chest. It's really important because when we move on to other movements, it'll make it a lot easier for you as well. So, from there then, like you did in the squat, shoulders back, squeeze that 50-pound note again, that'll keep your chest up. head up, focus on something in front of you, and then all you're going to do, step out with the right foot if we're working the right side. Yeah, we're going to come forward, step, keeping everything up, we come down to this position, yeah, and then we drive off. Yeah, and on the left, step, here, there. Again, don't look down at the floor. As soon as you start looking down at the floor, you see I'm starting to hunch over, yeah, and it's harder to get that foot as wide and keep the chest up. Split squat, yeah, exactly the same thing. You'd be here, get yourself set, and then it's again a little bend with that pulley, down to the floor, there, down to the floor, like so. Backwards squat, so we're working the right leg, sorry, backwards lunge. So we're working the right leg, keep all that pressure on the right, here, step back, there, there, left foot, focus, and you'll find that this is a lot harder because it's harder to stay balanced. So you really need to focus on something and keep yourself steady. Progression of both, you can do walking lunges, so it's just a lunge into a lunge like you're walking forward. So how you do this with a barbell is you'd step forward, yeah, this is how I do it, so you'd step here, at the bottom, slight pause, step, and I like to just step straight through, yeah. What you can do, when you're first trying this, is you can step forward, here, you step up, bring your feet together, focus, get yourself ready for the next one, step forward, up, feet together, yeah? And then as you get better at this and more comfortable and confident, you can just step straight in. Power bag, exactly the same, just have it on your shoulders, like so. It'll just be a lot easier because it'll be shoulder width like this as opposed to having a weight that's quite long. So you may find you're easy balanced like this. So head up, chest up, again, exactly the same thing with a lunge. You step forward like so, and then back off. Kettlebell. And there's a couple of variations you can do with this. Some are a little bit more advanced than others, but the main one, what I like to do, if I'm doing this goblet position, I don't know what Barney's doing to the power bag. So, goblet squat position, you're going to be here. Get off. Get off. Okay, goblet squat position. In this position like this, hold it nice and tight to the body, keep the chest up every time, yeah? So all you're going to do when you do this is you're going to step forward, like so, and then back, without a dog jumping all over you preferably, yeah? So there, here, and then back, like so. What you can also do with this, when you start getting a bit more confident and your balance increases, you can get the kettlebell above your head, press through, keep this nice and straight, and then you can lunge. So you do 10 on one side, 10 on the other, depending on what arm you want to start with. So with my right arm I can do 10 walking lunges like so, here, down, there, and then up, like so. Yeah, all the way. Obviously without a dog jumping all over you, it's a lot easier. There are different variations, and like I said, if you just apply them principles that we taught in the squat, always focus on your feet position, having that nice wide platform. You can relate it to most of the exercises we're going to be doing. As long as you've got the base platform down, everything else will come a lot easier. So really, that's the one thing I want you to take away from this is your feet position. Make sure they're correct distance apart and your balance. I hope you've all learnt something again. The next one we'll do will be the deadlift. Yeah, so look forward to that one. Hope you have a good day. I'll see you soon. Any questions, bang them in the comments below. See you later.